Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Welcome to another episode of Inside the Firm. Your regular hosts are here, just Lance Cayko and Al Gore. No nicknames whatsoever. We have a great show for you today. Of course, we're going to talk about the economy because it makes sense. Lance has some government stuff that he wants to talk about. Yep, and
how it affects what's going to happen next in the housing industry for sure.
That's huge. That's huge. Because it's such a big sector, it affects everything. Yep. And then again, HOK, words of wisdoms. But before we go to that, if you are looking to increase your business while reducing your stress and doing better work at the same time, go to buildabetterco.com, buildabetterco.com, where you can see the 5 shifts to increasing your profit, which leads to a more streamlined life, a more happy life, a more profitable life. buildabetterco.com.
Accurate data is crucial, especially in today's business environment. Outdated and inaccurate data leads to turnarounds, delays, and rising costs with supply chain and staffing issues. These costs and delays can multiply. That's why a resource like ARCAT.com is so important. ARCAT works with manufacturers to keep their data up to date and accurate and offers it to you easily accessible and free. Use ARCAT's powerful search engine to find what you need and download it right there on their site without needing to pay anything or even register. So try ARCAT.com today. That's ARCAT.com. Jumping right into it, for the 2024 regular session in Colorado. I know we have a lot of Colorado listeners. There is a bill that is going to be tried to be pushed through, and the title of it is, the name of it is HB 24-1152, accessory dwelling units, concerning increasing the number of accessory dwelling units. It's fascinating. Because what some big bullet points of it are: a municipality has as established in the bill, a subject jurisdiction is either a municipality has a population of 1,000 or more, and that is within the area of a metropolitan planning organization. So small towns would be immediately affected by this. The portion of a county that is both within a census designation place within a population of 10,000 or more, as reported in most recent decennial census, and with an area of again a metropolitan planning organization. So if it goes through, and it should, it's a Democrat-controlled state, like it's very blue. They shouldn't, unless somehow the Democrats oppose this. But this is the Democrat bill, and they're trying to do it. Then it's going to happen. And what does that mean? That means that all of a sudden, all of these jurisdictions have to allow another dwelling unit on each individual property. And therefore, the demand is going to go up huge for that. I think this is the next lubricant that is going to help unleash the next housing wave in Colorado.
You know what's crazy too? My head has always been in Longmont because that's where we live. We do get work here. Also Boulder, Lakewood, yep. Things like that. But Lance, think about Firestone, Frederick, like where just the most typical neighborhoods are that aren't really set out for ADUs because they don't have alleys, because a lot of times we do ADUs with alleys, but like Firestone could have ADUs now in every neighborhood. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
The bill requires a subject jurisdiction to allow, subject to an administrative approval process, one accessory dwelling unit as an accessory use to a single unit detached dwelling in any part of the subject jurisdiction, where the subject jurisdiction allows single-unit detached dwellings. So if you're not jumping on this right away, I think you're gonna miss the boat. You'll be behind a little bit, but I almost guarantee it's gonna get passed, and then we're gonna follow what we always do. We follow what happens on the coast, and ADUs are very huge. They're very big in California.
Yeah.
What do you got, Al?
I just want to pause for 1 second. What if you could market, the neighborhood next door app, which I'll never go back into because it constantly
It's
never
crazy.
stops spamming you.
It's a crazy thing.
But here's a marketing thing if people are thinking about it. You could somehow market to your neighborhood, and when something like this passes, and essentially say, want to make extra income?
Yeah.
You know, you can now do this
That's
ADU.
what I'm getting at. Yep.
Want to make extra income? Everyone can do it. Investment, construction cost would cost this much. Architecture cost would cost this much. Your rental would cost this. You're making an extra $300
You
a
could
month.
go door to door and crush. I think so. I
Yeah.
think it could work, especially if you had the financing side figured out. To the point of you were talking with somebody on the finance side who's well adept at how HELOCs work. You
Yeah.
know, where you're borrowing against a mortgage and all of that. It's coming, man. It's interesting.
And these companies too, instead of just doing the online advertisement, you can get the UPS every door. So you just pick an area and you say, I want every door. You make a flyer with that pitch on it. It costs you 20 cents per thing going out. Just target a neighborhood. Well, craziness.
Yeah.
Craziness. Okay. That relates directly to this. U.S. new home sales rise less than expected in January.
Sad.
So I don't know if you watched the State of the Union, but
I did not.
That's all right.
I watched Fishing with Lance. Check out Fishing with Lance if you haven't watched it. Birthday special last night. It's fantastic.
Good. Anyways, there was a bunch of talk about all these new housing going up at a record. The term was record, and it's just not true.
Not true.
Not true.
Fact check.
New home sales increased 1.5 to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 661 units last month, said the Commerce Department Census Bureau, right? So it was revised lower from the previous 664. The new side of the housing market continues to greatly outperform when measured against the market for existing home. As the existing home inventory shortage persists, buyers continue to be pushed into the market for new homes. So as the existing home inventory, because people aren't selling, because people aren't selling, you got to buy new homes. No one's giving up their 3%.
You're in the golden. You're in the golden. We're in the golden handcuffs. We went over this last year. 100%.
Yep,
That's where everybody's at.
So same thing. People are locked in, and that's what's happening. There's even around here. I keep
So
looking.
that's why I'm telling you, the ADU is just going to be giant. It's going to be so big.
Well, especially with
What else do you do?
there was this report. I don't have it offhand, but Harvard actually did it. They recalculated what inflation actually was, because they put in. Let's say inflation says your car price goes up, right? Or the house price goes up. They didn't factor in, the normal inflation doesn't factor in, if you have a higher rate, now you're paying more for that car.
Yeah.
Now you're paying. So that money, that was never accounted for.
Right.
So they said it peaked at about 18%. And then right now it's actually around 8%. So how that relates to the ADU is essentially, well, could you use an extra $300 to $600 more bucks a month? Would that really help you? I think it would. That really, really would. And is it needed? Yes, it is needed. Okay. So there's that. And then the last article I have is Fed preferred inflation gauge logs lowest annual rise since March.
Well, that's good.
That is good. That is good. I'll just go to the graph, right? It keeps going down. The Fed chairman Powell says, yes, there will likely be a cut this year, but he doesn't know when. It could be summer. It could be late. It keeps tracking down.
I think it'll be. When do they meet again? Do you know? They're probably going to meet next month. Are they meeting this month?
Probably this month. Are you looking it up?
I'm looking it up. Keep going. Yeah.
Yep. They are threading the needle.
19. I know. I
They're
just
on
can't
the-
believe. Hey, we said it multiple times on this show that's exactly what they're doing. That we acknowledge that they could do it. March 19th and 20th is they're going to meet. So yeah, in 2 weeks.
The labor numbers are coming out today. I'm sure that it will show that labor is doing great. So they probably won't do anything this month, and we'll continue to see as going forward.
Yeah. people are moving, man. People are doing stuff. A lot of inquiries this first couple months. It's been pretty incredible, actually.
Yep.
Cool. Well, if you have been listening the last, half a dozen episodes, you'll know that I have been thanking Joe Biden for crushing it with the oil production. But today, we're not going to thank Joe Biden, which is sad. I'm going to do the opposite, actually. Biden calls for $10,000 tax credits for first-time home buyers and starter home sellers. Horrible idea, Mr. Biden. That is a horrible idea. Why? Because that's just going to create a bunch of demand, artificial demand. It's going to pump it up, and we can't build these fast enough. We just can't build them enough in that kind of way. It's such a bad idea.
It's like saying you can only make 100,000 TVs per year.
Yeah.
Because let's say we're capped out. And to make it cheaper, we're going to give everyone $100 to buy a TV. Like, no, the price is just going to go up. Like, it's just going to be eaten up immediately. Immediately. It is not going to help when you cannot increase the amount of supply.
It's a really great point. I think in one quarter it would get eaten up. Like you instantly infuse this and then it's gone again because it's just going to be another buying war and people are going to offer more. And that's ultimately the problem with it is like I wouldn't call it a totally free market by any means in that kind of a way, because it's driven by this fiat system that's just horrible. But man, right? Because then the fiat system of money just allows us to. It's like Owen Benjamin was saying the other day on his podcast. He's like, you got to understand how the money's created. Yes, they print the money. But it's if somebody has a house and then they bought it for $300 and then they sell it 2 years later for $500, that difference is where the money is made up. Like it's just that's also where it comes out of thin air.
Yep.
And then that's what Al means. Like it's just going to get eaten up. This is how it works. We need to just Colorado Democrats, thank you for trying to push through the ADU bill. I think this is going to help. Until the rest of us capitalists. And I am one of them, but it's not a perfect system by all means. I'm the older I get, I actually get more critical of it, and then I don't like it. But it's all because it's based on these banksters. That's my big issue with it, and then the cronyism and the lobbying and all of that. But we're gonna ruin it. Like it'll be like a good 5 to 10 years. We'll create a bunch of ADUs, and then somehow we'll ruin it. We're like those are unaffordable. It's because like we're like part of the system in this. Build, hold. Sell, and then it just keeps going up and up, and then that increase of the money supply just keeps happening, and the inflation, and just that's how it works.
Yeah, interesting take. A non-political way to think about that too is everything swings to the extreme, and you don't stop it until you go too far, and then you come back, and then you go too far in the regulations, and it swings back and forth. I'll be interested. We'll let everyone know when it comes out. I had a podcast, the Entree Architect podcast with Ryan. Should be out in a month.
Business of Architecture podcast.
No,
with
it's
Ryan.
not.
What?
No, you keep getting it wrong.
Ryan Willard?
Yes.
Hold on here. He's
Business of Architecture is Enoch.
Yep. And you just said the Entree Architect podcast
with Ryan. Yes, with Mark LePage and Ryan.
He's now. Yep. So now all of a sudden he's on the Entree Architect podcast. Really?
Wait.
And not
no. I might have flipped it. Business of Architecture.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I flipped it. Yes. Business of Architecture.
Keep going. You were on that show, Al.
I was on that show. And the whole topic was how to bring down affordable housing. Basically, and how the AI can help that too, because these are complicated issues, and the government actually needs to be involved because they are already involved, and you can't just ask.
I agree.
You can't just ask your normal citizens to vote for this mayor or this mayor based on some complicated, architectural urban policy.
Mm-hmm. So check it out. Business of Architecture, Al Gore.
Business of Architecture.
Ryan Willard, who I am friends with, and I have also been a guest on.
Yes.
With him and Enoch last year or something.
We're all friends.
We're all friends.
We're all friends.
Hey, we all love each other in the architectural podcasting community, which is very small. And exclusive in that kind of way. Okay. Last thing is HOK.
Yes.
HOK, 7 more ways to design a world-class firm. Can't recommend this book enough. I'm actually going to make Alex Gresh suggest to him that he read it, who's now leading the Denver F9 firm. Chapter 6, to design a world-class firm. We're on page 55 here. Number 1, give your people the opportunity to have many jobs at your firm so they can build a career, and you will deepen your company's reservoir of experience and knowledge. What do you think they mean, like the opportunity to have many jobs? Meaning, like you could be project manager, project architect. Is that what they meant by that, or is designer, interior? I don't know.
Many jobs. I literally mean, how about like Jason? Like you're an architect here / he's working on it, but you can also take pictures, photography. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Tech
or tech stuff. You know. I think it's something like that. I think actually he's talking about like those committees and stuff like that. And then you grow, and then you can grow into that role if you like it. I'm not a big fan of committees. I rather just have one point person.
Agreed.
With people assisting that person. But everyone gets what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Number 2, design buildings just for their special setting, taking advantage of the best natural surroundings to inspire your scheme. 100%. This is exactly what Ross and I did yesterday when we presented to a set of clients for a single-family residence. It was very in situ kind of design of the place. It was responding to natural elements, and they just ate it up, the owners. Number 3, design specifically for a local area's weather and other natural factors like hurricane and earthquake risk. Agreed. By the way, so we just finished watching on the earthquake risk. Do you remember Frank Lloyd Wright's hotel in Japan?
Yes.
That it survived?
Yes.
Yeah. And wasn't that cool? Like it made me think about, so I'm drilling caissons right now at a house that we're building, and I was like, man, me and Frankie, we really understand it. Designing forever. Number 4, seek design solutions that are elegant.
At any moment, just me and Frankie. Frankie and I,
Number 5, adopt the Harry Truman philosophy. It's quote, it's amazing what you can accomplish if you do not care who gets credit, end quote. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, find a middle path that satisfies both sides in politically contentious situations. Agreed. Yep. I think me and Al are just sick of, and Nick too. Nick, are you listening? We go too far to the left. We go too far to the right. We just keep doing that. Be nice if we just we're in that middle area. Yeah. Figuring it out. Sort of getting, let's say everybody gets they lose, win. We could do that, which means a win-win,
yep.
right?
Yep. And so I have to interject this. I know it's never talk about politics, but if you understand that both sides are just trying to give their donors control, both sides are just trying to give the Democrats their side, the right their side, and you filter all of their talk through that, because that's what their actions actually show, then you can see the game that's going on.
Yeah, it becomes really obvious.
Yeah. Number
7, last one, show sincere interest in your clients and you'll become their trusted advisor, leading to more work. 100%. You gotta, man, that interview process is so important, I think.
Yep.
Talking with them, walking with them, all the things. Al, what else have we got? I think that was it.
That was
sweet
it
today.
Short and sweet.
Beautiful. All right. If you like this episode, you watch it on YouTube. Leave us a positive comment, like, subscribe. If you're watching on the iTunes, if you're listening on iTunes, you can leave us a 5-star review. Remember, sometimes we go away from the mic and then we come back. And what you want to do is, when we're close to the mic, you find a listening level that's good for you, and then you just keep the volume there. Okay. But when we go away from the mic, then you don't turn it up anymore. See you next week.